Is wholesale real estate now banned in South Carolina? This is due recently to a bill that was passed in South Carolina, and a lot of wholesalers are talking about this. Some are saying, yes, South Carolina is banning wholesale real estate completely. Some wholesalers and influencers in this field are saying, no, it's not banned. You can still wholesale real estate in South Carolina, but you have to do this. You have to jump through this hoop. And some wholesalers are saying, this is how every state in America is going to work now on. Like more and more states are going to follow suit and start banning wholesale real estate nationwide. So which is it? So today I'm just going to go over the bill. I'm going to go over different opinions from different people in this field and just let you all decide what you all think of this bill and my personal opinion of it. Make sure you all like this video, comment down below your thoughts on this bill, and please be sure to subscribe and like this video. Comment down below your thoughts on this bill. Do you think it's just making it more difficult for wholesalers or people to get started in real estate? Do you think this is something from real estate agents trying to block competition, or do you think this is actually good for wholesale real estate? Let me know down below, and be sure to like this video and subscribe. All right, so I'm here on the South Carolina legislator website, the scstatehouse.gov, and this is the summary of the bill that was passed. I did see the whole bill, and it was just a lot of information. It was pages upon pages. But you see the timeline because I believe we did talk about South Carolina earlier this year. You heard other wholesalers talk about it. But recently there was another part of this bill that was passed recently that you hear a lot of people talk about. So I just want to explain everything here. So let's go over the summary of the bill. So this is called Real Estate Associates. All right. So an act to amend the South Carolina Code of Laws by adding Article 57 outline requirements for providers of pre-licensing and continuing education courses for real estate brokers, brokers in charge, associates, and property managers. So they're adding things to people, it seems like, that are already in real estate. I wonder if this includes wholesalers, because would associates be considered wholesalers? They have property managers there. So would wholesalers be included right here? Because I know I heard other people saying, oh, this is for real estate agents. But let's continue on reading. Administrative citations and penalties and appeals by amending relating to real estate brokers as to, among other defined terms, make conforming changes, define the use of application fees, outline the procedure for a license classification change, allow for reciprocal agreement with other jurisdictions. Okay, here's the main thing right here. We're about to start. So prohibit bad faith agreements, reduce the amount of required classroom instructions for brokers in charge. This sounds really good for brokers, right? Reduce the amount of required classroom instructions for brokers in charge. And I know this bill was passed by a lot of people who have their hand in real estate, either the different people on the bill, also just real estate agents pushing for this bill. Bad faith agreements, which is understandable, which I agree with. This probably hints to wholesalers, like making sure you're doing what's best for your client, right? Prohibit engaging in, representing others in, or assisting others in the practice of wholesaling. There it is. This is the big thing that people were talking about. So prohibit engaging in, so actually doing wholesaling, representing wholesalers, or assisting others, assisting people in wholesaling. Regulate team marketing and address licensing after revocation, if I'm saying that right, and by adding Section 40 to establish licensing for responsible work. That's the main thing that people were talking about. Now, for me, I may be wrong. This to me is geared towards people who are licensed. This is geared towards real estate brokers, brokers in charge, associates, property managers, that they prohibit bad faith agreements, okay, which I understand. Reduce the amount of required classroom instructions for brokers in charge. So reduce the amount of continuing education they have to do, and prohibit engaging in, representing others in wholesaling. So I don't know if this is specifically for wholesalers or specifically for real estate agents, right? That's the, I think, kind of confusion that a lot of people are dealing with. Or are wholesalers considered associates? I don't think so. They're not considered property managers, brokers in charge, or brokers. So that's what the summary of this bill that everyone is talking about. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let's listen to or read other people's opinions. And, these are all influencers that I respect. They may go about wholesaling and teaching wholesaling in a different way. I think it's good to hear different points of views. I don't have anything against them. I think they do great work for the community. So I'm going to talk about Flip It Rick and then Jerry Norton and what they say. So first, let's go to Jerry Norton. So Jerry Norton is really adamant that they're making wholesaling illegal in South Carolina, no matter what. So here he is, and he says, yeah, there's a lot of opinions and arguments about the new South Carolina law about wholesaling. To clear the mud, I interviewed a practicing attorney in South Carolina and member of the South Carolina Real Estate Commission. Watch this. So I guess he has a video with that South Carolina. Because I've been saying for years, the objective of NAR, that's the National Association of Realtors, I believe that's the correct acronym, and the state commission is not to regulate wholesaling, but to stop it entirely. So South Carolina found a way. So number one, define wholesaling as marketing, advertising, selling real estate, property, or contract, it doesn't matter, prior to legal ownership. So that's what wholesaling is defined as in South Carolina, right? Whether you're marketing, advertising, or selling real estate, whether it's the property or not. Regulate a license to wholesale. Now you are under the jurisdiction of the commission who has control over licensee. Okay, I think I understand what he said. Prohibit licensees from wholesaling. This is exactly what this law does. This means any transaction where you secure a buyer prior to taking ownership is not allowed. That includes assignments, double closes, novations. This is real simple, everyone. Anything where you don't yet legally own the property. You have to actually own the property before you can contract or sell to a new buyer. You can argue about the semantics and the wording or how you're protected by the contract law and have constitutional rights. None of that matters until the law is overturned in court. Until then, South Carolina Real Estate Commission, made up of 7 out of 9 practicing real estate agents. So, there may be a conflict of interest, has control over you and can fine you severely and prosecute you. Don't believe me? Call a closing attorney in South Carolina and see if they're going to close your assignment or double closing. Better yet, go ahead and transact. If you can't find a closing attorney, then let's submit your HUDs to the commission and see what they do. So here, Jerry Norton is talking about, first of all, he talked to an attorney and they said it's essentially making it illegal and to ban it entirely. And then what he's saying is, so going back at this law is that, first of all, in South Carolina, you need a license to wholesale real estate. And so once you get that license to wholesale real estate, you are now under real estate associates, right? Because maybe you're under associates or a licensee. And so now that you're a licensee, you are prohibited from engaging in, representing others in, or assisting others in the practice of wholesaling. So first, they require you to get that license. Okay, you can still wholesale. And then they passed another law, banning licensees from wholesaling. That's what Jerry is getting from this bill. And I understand that. I can see where he's coming from on this point of view. So that's one opinion on this bill. So let's go to Flip It Rick. And, these are two channels that I have both respects, so I think they're big channels, probably the two biggest on wholesaling, and their opinion carries a lot. So here is Flip It Rick on Flip with Zach's page. So he kind of goes in on guru. So every guru is posting about how South Carolina has banned wholesaling. Most of these gurus are broke wholesalers, and come on, man, you're doing too much. Let's go to the information. All right, he's talking about their courses. That's his lane to go, his way of communicating, respect to him. But I'm trying to find, again, these wholesaling gurus are 100% you. Okay, the law is simple. Here it is. The law, in simple terms, bans not wholesaling, but pretending to own a house when you lock it up. If you sell the contract in the wholesale, like I say, it's all legal. South Carolina even mentioned it twice that wholesaling is legal. They're only attacking agents and realtors from wholesaling, okay? The wholesaling industry needs someone to give you the facts. If you spread the bad news, wholesaling's bad, Carolina, if you don't. So this is where he really mentions the law. So he's saying that the law, and I haven't read the whole bill, it was a lot of pages, so maybe there are different ways that the law is saying that wholesaling is legal and you're fine. But in that summary, you don't get that at all. But pretending to own, so you just got to be very transparent, be like, hey, I don't own the property, like other states are doing. Like, you just got to be 100% transparent about what you're doing. And you just wholesale it like regular. It's legal. They're only attacking agents and realtors. So he believes that it's only talking about agents and realtors. They're only attacking agents and realtors from wholesaling. So realtors from wholesaling. that's another person's opinion. Now, I want to go to Bigger Pockets because they have a lot of, like, I feel like real investors, because, like, you know, people, I'm investing, other influencers are investing, but these people right here, they don't have their mind on their YouTube channel or their Instagram. So they're really in the weeds with this law and understanding what it says. So let's see what some people on Bigger Pockets say. So the new law in South Carolina, so this person believes that it defines wholesaling. It says you must have a license to wholesale. It says that a licensed realtor can't wholesaler. No attorney is going to risk anything that might be deemed wholesaling. You can't do a double close because you can't market the property or contract prior to owning it. You can buy the property, then market it. You could also get owner financing for 60 to 90 days, then market the property for sale. So this person believes that, first of all, you must have a license to wholesale. A licensed realtor can't wholesale. But because of this wording and because of this law, an attorney, if they even hear the word wholesaling, they're probably not going to transact or help with that deal. I think that's what he is saying, and that you have to own the property, kind of what Jerry was saying, that you have to buy the property in order to market it. Okay, this person says, I read what I believe to be the new South Carolina legislation. Please provide the full definition of wholesaling and reconcile the conclusion of your post with the last sentences of your definition. Seen conflicting posts on this, well, curious, seen both sides saying it's still legal, others saying where it's not, right? Legal in most states do not allow you to advertise the property you do not own without a license, and that's where most do not. Okay. Somebody says it's also not required to market a property in order to wholesale it, and thus wholesaling is still legal. It's also not required to market a property. If you already have your buyer lined up before signing a contract with the seller and already know who you're going to sell it to, then you're not marketing a property you have under contract. Too many people ignore this, always assume every wholesaler is marketing a property they have under contract without a buyer already lined up. Interesting. The one thing I would say about that is that how can you have a buyer? You're marketing a property to a buyer you don't have under contract? I thought that was illegal, you know? Like, you have to have a property under contract in order to market it. But if you're marketing a property to a buyer, you say, hey, I have this property, it's not locked up yet. When I lock it up, you want it? I don't know if that's 100% legal, but we're just listening to people's opinion. The thing is, if you are doing any type of wholesale deals and the closing attorney gets a whiff of it, they're not going to close a deal for you and risk their law. Okay, that's understandable. After listening to several attorneys, maybe this person talked to a lot of attorneys in South Carolina, they're not going to risk closing these deals going forward as they have done in the past. So there's a lot of opinions out here. I just wanted to read some of them because I can go on and on. This video would be so long and things of that nature. And so, yeah, you guys can check out this also. The marketing property with this bill. They're saying that marketing the contract for assignment is effectively marketing the property, therefore illegal. Assigning to related interest parties is fine, but if you market your position in a contract in order to assign it for a fee, that's a no-no. So, okay. So they said the marketing is illegal, but assigning to related or interested parties are fine. So maybe if you are a group of buyers, that's what I'm hearing. But yeah, it's very interesting opinion. I don't think one person actually knows. You just need to talk in South Carolina. That's what it seems. More government, more regulation, more rules. Always creates more inefficiency, creates more room for someone to figure what it is, but sellers are going to market help. All right, you all, let me know your on this new bill. I know this was a kind of video, but I really want wholesaling and whether it's banned or whether and if other states are going to follow suit, what did or maybe they will. It's just interesting because I think you need more tools in your tool. Starting real estate or starting wholesaling, you gotta see, maybe you need to get your license, or maybe you need to, okay, I'm just going to do wholesaling now because my end goal is flipping or my end goal is holding rentals, and you got to go that route. And so you just have to be prepared. Let me know your thoughts down below and like this video, and I'll talk to you all later.